Hello, and welcome back to Inside Books. I want to talk about something that I believe is more important now than ever before: finding meaning and purpose in your work. We spend a huge part of our lives working, and it's easy to feel lost, to feel like we're just chasing a paycheck. But what if your work could be the path to something more, to a life of true fulfillment and inner peace? That's the powerful and frankly revolutionary idea at the heart of the book we're exploring today. Compass to Fulfillment by the late, great Japanese entrepreneur Inamori Kazuo. For those of you who don't know his story, let me give you a quick summary. Inamori was a man who defied all the odds. He came from a poor family, struggled to find work, and had a mediocre academic record. Yet he founded not one, but two Fortune 500 companies: Kyocera, a global ceramics and electronics powerhouse, and KDDI, one of Japan's largest telecommunications companies. The first and maybe most foundational lesson from Inamori is to never ever give up. He had this incredible belief that with an unwavering, passionate desire, you can accomplish anything. And this isn't just a motivational poster quote. It's what he lived. Think back to the early days of Kyocera. Inamori was a young, relatively unknown engineer working for a failing ceramics company. He had a vision for a new type of ceramic, a material so advanced it could be used for electronics. His superiors weren't interested. They thought it was a waste of time, so he took matters into his own hands. He and a few colleagues borrowed money and started their own company, Kyoto Ceramic, which became Kyocera. Their very first order was from a company that needed a new kind of ceramic insulator. The pressure was on, but things went terribly wrong. The materials kept cracking during the manufacturing process. Day after day, a fresh batch would come out of the kiln, only to be filled with hairline cracks. The team was devastated. They wanted to quit. They even came to Inamori to ask if they could go on strike, to demand better working conditions from him. But Inamori saw it differently. He went into the lab, not with a plan to give up, but with an obsessive desire to find the cause. He worked night and day, sleeping on the floor of the lab, meticulously documenting every single detail of the process. He adjusted the temperature of the kiln by a single degree, changed the moisture content of the clay by a fraction of a percent. He was like a detective, but the crime scene was his own failed experiments. And then, after countless failures, he had a breakthrough. The slightest change in the firing process made all the difference. That single order was fulfilled, and it became the first brick in the foundation of the Kyocera empire. This story isn't just about a technical success. It's about a mindset. It's about understanding that your desire, your passion, and your willingness to put in an effort that is a match for anyone else's is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. Inamori had an equation for success that I want you to remember. Success equals attitude times effort times ability. He said that ability and effort can be rated from 0 to 100, but attitude can be rated from -100 to +100. A person with a negative attitude can have all the talent and work ethic in the world, but the result will always be negative. Inamori had an almost sacred respect for work itself. He believed in sweating at work and working with details. He called it loving your work. This wasn't just about being a workaholic. It was about finding joy and meaning in the process. Let's go back to Japan Airlines. When Inamori took over, it was an absolute crisis. The company had a bloated hierarchy, a massive debt of $25 billion, and a culture of blame and bureaucracy. Most CEO would have just looked at the balance sheets and the biggest cost centers. Inamori did something different. He went down to the hangar floor, he talked to the mechanics, the flight attendants, the baggage handlers, he found that the culture was completely broken. Employees felt disconnected from the company's fate. His approach wasn't just to lay people off and cut roots. He started by changing the company's culture, one person at a time. He created a simple, 2-page handbook called the JAL philosophy, which outlined his core principles. He and his team literally re-evaluated every single task, no matter how small. He found that even tiny inefficiencies, like a mechanic taking a few extra steps to get a tool, added up to massive costs across the entire company. By focusing on these small details and empowering the people on the front lines, Inamori created a sense of shared ownership. He made them feel that they weren't just cogs in a machine. They were an amoeba, a self-managed unit responsible for its own success. This philosophy of amoeba management is a huge part of his legacy. Every employee was encouraged to think like a manager, to optimize their work, and to take pride in the results. We've all been there. We wake up, we go to work, and the entire day is just a countdown to 5 p.m. We think of our job as a way to earn a paycheck, to pay the bills, and to fund our weekends. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with wanting to pay your bills, but if that's all your work is to you, you'll never feel truly fulfilled. You'll always feel that emptiness, that feeling of being lost. Inamori knew this. He believed that this mindset is what holds us back from finding true happiness. He didn't just tell his employees to work hard, he told them to fall in love with their work. It's a powerful idea. Think about it. When you're in love with something, a hobby, a person, a passion project, you don't count the hours. You pour your energy into it naturally, and you find joy in the process itself. Inamori's philosophy is to apply that same feeling to your job. This is the kind of mindset that can transform your life. It's an idea that has been echoed by many thinkers. The idea that no matter what your job is, you have the power to transform it. There's a famous saying that really captures this spirit. Even if I am a toilet cleaner, I have to be the best toilet cleaner. The point is, you don't have to wait for the perfect job to come along. You can take the job you have right now and make it perfect for you by choosing to find things you love about it. Maybe it's the sense of order you create, the people you work with, or the challenge of a difficult task. This teaches us that true success isn't just about a grand strategy. It's about the dignity of doing a good job, no matter what that job is. It's about finding satisfaction in the smallest tasks and believing that every detail matters. Inamori believed that a great business leader must first be a great person. He was a devout Buddhist monk, and his spiritual beliefs were the bedrock of his business philosophy. He spoke of living with grace and improving your soul. In 1984, he decided to do something remarkable. He took a substantial portion of his personal wealth, about 20 billion yen, which is over $100 million today, and founded the Inamori Foundation. Its primary purpose was to create the Kyoto Prize, an international award that honors people who have made outstanding contributions to science, technology, and the arts. It's often called Japan's Nobel Prize. Why would a busy entrepreneur do this? Because Inamori believed that the pursuit of business, or science, or art should not just be for personal gain. It should be for the betterment of humanity. He saw this as a way to repay his debt to society, to give back for all the opportunities he was given. This is the improving your soul part of his philosophy. It's about cultivating a mindset of gratitude, humility, and contribution. He often said that our biggest enemy is not our competition, but our own arrogance and ego. He believed that the moment you become proud of your success, you start to decay. That's why he was known for being incredibly humble, even when he was at the peak of his power. He constantly reflected on his actions, questioning if they were for the good of others or just for himself. This brings us to our final and most crucial point: ethics. Inamori believed that ethical principles should be the compass that guides every single business decision. He created a philosophy at Kyocera and KDDI that was based on the simple principle of doing the right thing as a human being. In the 1980s, when Japan's telecommunications industry was a government-run monopoly, Inamori saw an opportunity to bring better, cheaper services to the people. He founded a new company, Daini Denden, which later became KDDI. But he didn't do it just for the money. He did it with a mission: to challenge the status quo and to serve society by lowering the cost of communication. He faced immense opposition from the government and the existing monopoly, but his unwavering ethical stance, that competition would benefit the public, drove him forward. He didn't cut corners. He didn't engage in shady business practices. He built his company on integrity and trust, and because of that, it flourished. He proved that a company could be immensely profitable while also being a force for good. So what does this all mean for you and me? It means that our work is not just a job, it's an opportunity to grow, to contribute, and to improve our character. Inamori's life story is a powerful reminder that if you combine a relentless work ethic with a compassionate and ethical heart, you can achieve a level of success and fulfillment that no amount of money could ever buy. This video is just a starting point. There is so much more to learn from this man's life. I encourage you to seek out his books, especially Compass to Fulfillment. It's a guide to living a life of purpose, and I promise you, it will change the way you see your work and the world. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this video was helpful for you, please give it a like. And if you know someone you love or care about who could benefit from these powerful lessons, feel free to share this video with them. Until next time, keep working hard, staying kind, and following your own compass to fulfillment.